Welcome back, everyone. Today we're diving deep into Wayfair, the online furniture store. But we're going way beyond just sofas and beds. This deep dive is all about the AI. Wayfair is using AI in ways most people wouldn't even imagine, like their Decorify tool. Have you heard of that?
Decorify is really cool. It's changing how we shop for furniture online.
Exactly. It uses AI to help you redesign your rooms. You upload a picture, and Decorify shows you what your room would look like in different styles, like mid-century modern, or like a rustic farmhouse vibe.
And you can actually buy the furniture right there in the virtual design.
It's brilliant. So it's not just playing around, it actually helps Wayfair sell more furniture.
Wayfair is really committed to making this AI stuff accessible. Decorify works on your computer or phone, but it's so much more.
Yeah, they're using AI for a lot more than that, and it's fascinating to look at. So the first thing that really jumped out at me was this whole idea of enhancing the product catalog using AI.
Yeah.
Think about it. They've got over 40 million products.
One of the really interesting things they're doing is tackling this problem of inconsistent product tags, right?
Inconsistent product tags.
Yeah, you get different suppliers.
Oh.
And they all have their own ways of describing things.
One person's boho rug is another person's eclectic rug or something?
Exactly, yeah. You can search for something and not find it, even though it's technically there.
Makes it a lot harder to shop.
It does. They're using AI to basically standardize these tags.
Okay.
And they're doing it through a process they call programmatic data labeling. Basically, they're using AI to learn from all the images and descriptions in their catalog and to figure out what the consistent features are.
It can tell a drum lampshade from a Cooley lampshade, even if the suppliers are using different words. But they still have humans checking the AI's work. So what is Wayfair doing to make the delivery part less of a headache?
They're tackling that head on.
Okay.
They're actually leveraging Google's Vertex AI. It's a cloud-based machine learning platform. Really sophisticated models that predict delivery times with crazy accuracy.
So it's like they're trying to get ahead of any potential delays.
Exactly. They're taking into account all these different factors like warehouse locations, traffic patterns, even weather forecasts.
Wow, so it's not just like a standard 2-day shipping thing.
No, it's much more dynamic than that.
That's super cool. And I'm guessing this doesn't just benefit the customers, right? It must have some pretty big advantages for Wayfair as well.
Oh, absolutely. Think about it. If you can predict delivery times more accurately, you can manage your inventory better, you can optimize your shipping routes, you can potentially even reduce costs in the long run.
So it's a win. Let's talk about fraud.
Ooh, fraud detection.
Because this is another area where Wayfair is using AI in a really interesting way.
Yeah, they're like the Sherlock Holmes of e-commerce.
I like that.
Using AI to catch the bad guys.
Exactly. What kind of fraud are we talking about here? And how is AI actually helping them prevent it?
So one of the big challenges in e-commerce is something called account hopping fraud.
Account hopping. What's that?
So imagine you've got a frauder. They create multiple accounts, maybe using slightly different email addresses or variations of their name.
Okay.
But they're using the same device, the same payment method, things like that.
So they're trying to fly under the radar, basically.
Exactly. They're trying to make it look like there are lots of different people. But to a human analyst, it might not be that obvious.
Especially when you're dealing with millions of transactions.
Exactly. But Wayfair is using something called graph neural networks, or GNNs, to combat this.
GNNs. Okay, those sound pretty high-tech.
They are, but they're basically really good at analyzing relationships and patterns in data.
So in this case, it would be able to see that all those different accounts are actually connected, even if they look separate on the surface.
Precisely. The GNN can see those shared attributes, like the device or payment method.
And I'm guessing this is saving Wayfair a lot of money.
Oh, yeah. They've reported saving millions of dollars annually just by preventing fraud. It makes the whole system more secure and trustworthy for everyone. They're heavily investing in their own data science team.
So they're building their own AI solutions in-house.
Exactly. They've created this really cool internal platform that gives their data scientists a lot of freedom and flexibility.
What do you mean by that?
So it's like they've built this AI playground where their data scientists can experiment with new ideas, build new models, and deploy them really quickly.
So they're not limited by whatever's available on the market. They can create their own custom solutions.
Precisely. They have these self-contained pipelines, customizable tools, all designed to encourage innovation.
That's really smart.
It is, and it ultimately benefits the customer because it means that Wayfair is constantly evolving and improving.
So that's Wayfair. They're really trying to use AI to stand out. Like when you compare them to Amazon.
Yeah, it's a different approach.
But is it enough? Is Wayfair really a hidden gem? Or is it more of a risky gamble?
Let's look at the financials.
Let's do it.
So in the last quarter of 2023, Wayfair brought in $3.11 billion in revenue.
That sounds pretty good.
It is, but it's only slightly higher than the year before.
So growth is slowing down.
And their international sales are actually dropping.
So not all sunshine and roses. What about profits?
That's where things get a little tricky. Wayfair is actually not profitable right now. In Q4 2023, they lost $174 million.
Oof. That doesn't sound great.
No, it doesn't. But they are trying to get things under control.
Okay, how?
They've been buying back a lot of their debt.
Debt buybacks.
Yeah, they've spent $739 million on that.
So that's a good sign, right? Shows they're serious about fixing their finances.
It could be, but it's too early to say for sure.
All right. So we've got this company trying to innovate with AI, but also struggling with some financial challenges. What are the experts saying? What do the Wall Street analysts think about Wayfair's stock?
They're cautiously optimistic. The general consensus is a moderate buy.
Moderate buy.
Yeah, based on 24 analysts.
Okay, and what does moderate buy even mean?
14 of those analysts say you should buy the stock, but 10 of them say just hold on to what you have.
So they're not all in agreement.
No, but interestingly, none of them are saying to sell.
Interesting. So they all seem to think Wayfair has potential.
Right.
What kind of price are they predicting for the stock?
The average price target for the next year is $71.15.
Wow. The stock is trading around $43 right now.
That's right. So if those analysts are right, you could make a 62% profit.
That's a huge potential gain. But we have to remember, Wayfair's stock has been pretty volatile.
Very volatile.
It's been all over the place in the past year.
It's definitely not for the faint of heart.
Definitely not. To help us understand this volatility, let's look at some key metrics that can tell us more about Wayfair's stock performance.
Absolutely. Let's break it down.
That's good.
So first we have their market cap, currently at $5.5 billion. That basically tells us the overall size of the company.
Okay. And what about the volatility?
That's where beta comes in. Wayfair's beta is 3.26. That means their stock price swings way more than the average stock.
Oh, wow. So if the market goes up 1%, Wayfair might go up 3%.
Or down 3%.
The big swings.
Now let's look at the price to sales ratio.
Okay.
For Wayfair, it's 0.42.
What does that tell us?
That's pretty low compared to other e-commerce companies.
Could that mean Wayfair is undervalued?
It might, but we have to be careful. We can't just look at one number in isolation.
There are a lot of other factors to consider.
We need to look at both sides of the argument.
Okay, let's do it. Let's start with the optimists.
Okay.
What's driving the bullish case for Wayfair?
The bulls are really excited about their AI strategy, especially Decorify.
They think it could be a game changer.
Exactly. They also like that Wayfair is opening physical stores.
They just opened a flagship store in Illinois.
It's a way to reach more customers and build their brand.
Okay, so we have AI and expansion.
And the bulls also think Wayfair's undervalued right now.
They're looking at that low price to sales ratio.
Exactly.
They think the stock price has room to grow.
They believe in Wayfair's long-term potential.
So that's the bullish side. But what about the bears? Why are some people skeptical about Wayfair?
The biggest concern is competition. Amazon is a huge threat.
Yeah, they're a giant in e-commerce.
And they have a ton of resources that Wayfair just doesn't have.
So it's a David and Goliath situation.
In a way, yes.
What else worries the bears?
The overall economy is another concern. Interest rates are rising, and that's making things tough for a lot of businesses.
Especially in retail. And we saw that Wayfair's international sales are down.
That's definitely a red flag.
Okay, so competition and the economy.
And the bears also worry about execution. Can Wayfair actually do all the things they're talking about?
Can they make Decorify a success? Can they turn those losses into profits?
So thank you for joining us. We hope you found this deep dive helpful.
And we hope you'll keep coming back.